Knowing that I have a Southwest Greens is knowing that I've got the same kind of green that the best players in the world have.
The reaction on the Southwest putting green is almost identical to what we play on the tour.
I just thought this was the most realistic, and if you're going to have one that you really want to use and practice on, that's what you want to have.
And those of us that are playing for a living, I can come here and I can continually work on the scoring part of my game.
Being able to practice at home, especially right before I go back out on tour, get used to the speed of my greens, made the transition to go to the greens on tour much easier.
The most satisfying feeling is to make a putt under pressure, far more satisfying than hitting a 300 down the middle.
Very consistent, very convenient, you know, step out the back door and go and putt.
Hi, I'm Mike Malaska, Director of Instruction for the Nicklaus Academies worldwide, for TaylorMade, for Lyle Anderson Properties, and for Striker Fitness. Being involved with companies at that level, I understand the importance of quality and the commitment to the individual or to whoever it is you're working with. It's very important that whatever you're doing, that the family you're involved with or the company and the service that's provided is the best you can possibly get. Service at Southwest Greens. The customer service department is not a department, it's an attitude. It's there for the life of the green. As long as you have this product in your yard, they're going to be there for you. That is very, very important. And with that commitment to service to you and to the life of the green, you've just created a lifetime relationship with a company that's committed to you. That attitude is what you want.
Well, I already knew that I was getting a good product because I've seen it 3 or 4 other times before I even chose Southwest Greens from other people that have had them. So I knew I was getting a good product. I didn't know I was going to get the service I was going to get. I didn't know I was going to get the backing from the company as much. I didn't realize that part. I was just asking for what is the best putting green I get in my backyard. Well, I got the whole package. I got a lot of conscientious people that are really proud of their product. And not because I'm a PGA Tour pro either. I think they back their product. I know they back their product for anyone. Like that. And if you have a problem with it, they're there with you, and they'll be there within days to take care of whatever problem is there. So it's a great company to work with, and anytime you have somebody that puts in a product and they don't leave you, they're there for you, it's fun to deal with them. So that's what I really like. I wish more companies would do that.
And any product or any service goes back to the people, and I think you and your people have been extremely cooperative. So I think that says a lot of what we as purchasers want to see in getting a product or a service, is that you want to get the service behind that. Your crew did a marvelous job. I was quite impressed with their wanting to please me, their willingness to take my questions, my comments, and work them in a positive direction. Technically, I think you're better than anybody else in the business.
You know, it was a very simple process for me. I mean, the guys are obviously a very experienced crew, and the people who advised me on the size of putting green and the kind of slopes and the contours, very experienced. So, you know, for me, I just basically told them what I wanted to achieve from the putting green, what my goals were, and reasoning for putting the putting green in. And I kind of just let the Southwest Greens machine, you know, just let it go. You know, and it took care. You know, they took care of everything, and came out after a couple of days, and there was my putting green. So, very painless process for sure.
I learned about Southwest Greens from one of my clients back in 1999, and in the year 2000 is the first year I got one. The Southwest Greens crews are incredible. They show up when they say they're going to show up. They are meticulous, they are clean. The installation is just by far top of the line compared to any other installation I've seen on anything else. I can't say enough great things about you guys and how well you take care of everything. You're respectful of the homeowner. It's awesome.
It's something fun that the kids can do. They can go out back. It's a family-oriented thing. It was something that it's green all the time. It doesn't take much maintenance. They're able to go out there and enjoy their backyards. And when you get a phone call in the office and somebody says, gosh, you know what, I really love this. I had families over and, you know, party, and we just played out in the backyard. And it was absolutely incredible for us from the end of going, you know what, our clients are really happy.
Southwest Greens is the best product that you can purchase. It's the best when it comes to synthetic greens. I've spent a lot of time trying different things out to find out what was the best for me 9 years ago. As a consumer coming to this and wanting to look at greens, you're going to have a lot of questions. They're there to answer your questions. I can tell you I had the same questions that you will probably have. That's an important part, is for them to be able to answer those questions and to be there for you, for the service side of it, to know the family, to know their commitment. Not from just the people that are selling the greens to you, but from the installers. When you watch what happens when one of these greens is put in, I mean, it was unbelievable to me. I had no idea what they did to put this green in. I've been involved with a lot of golf course development. They put as much time and effort into putting this green in as we do on a regular golf course with a regular green. That's phenomenal.
Hi, I'm Jim Flick, and I've been around golf 60 years now playing, 47 teaching, and it really is exciting to watch somebody as good as Mike Malaska hit balls into a surface that receives the golf ball very similar to what we see on the great golf courses today. And if you're considering making the best use of your time, as all of us are challenged with making our time effective when we're working on this crazy game, you want conditions that are very similar to what you're playing with at your golf course. When you're considering surfaces, remember, you don't want to see seams. You want to see like surfaces that resemble the speed, the texture, the contours, and the challenges that we're faced at our golf course. Then your time becomes productive. And that's what we saw here when Mike was hitting those shots from about 70 yards into the flagstick here. We saw the bounce, the spin, the roll. Southwest Greens will give you those conditions. And be discerning when you're considering what you're buying and what you're trying to set up in your backyard. Yes, there's a lot of similar type of products out there. Southwest Greens will give you exactly what you need to make your time as positive and as productive as possible.
That's another separator for Southwest Greens, is that there are a lot of products out there that can be bought, a lot of lesser quality products, a lot of cheaper products. But Southwest Greens does not look at those products because of the quality. They stick with the premium yarns and the premium products in the market, and that's what separates them from the competition.
Southwest Greens is the largest distribution network out there for synthetic putting greens and landscape in the country today. We're very fortunate to be able to supply them with their turf needs. Challenger tries to do is we try to stay ahead with our R&D, and we're constantly trying to develop new products, new technology with new fibers. And what we've done with our partnership with Southwest Greens, we're able to field test those products. And we constantly have products in the ground literally being tested in different parts of the country with Southwest Greens dealers. And they can give us feedback on those products, have it be a face product and or a different backing change, whatever it is. We can send it to them, we know they can get it in the ground, they can monitor it and give us feedback, and that's what we need. And we try to do that all over the country and give us the feedback from different climates, different locales, to make sure the color's right, make sure the product's right, make sure the surface is going to do what it needs to do.
There's just nothing to compare with it. The product sells itself once it goes in. At our first home show last year that we did, we had a couple come up to our green. Actually, we had their neighbor come up to our green, and he just knew that his neighbor would love this product. And his neighbor showed up the next day with his wife and his children. Both their children are golfers in their golf team at school. And they had done their homework on their greens, and they have a very tiny little yard. We have made dedicated Southwest Greens lovers of the O'Donnells. On the other end of the extreme, we've done jobs on 5-acre estates. I don't think we could have pleased customers more. It's the top green that we have seen, and believe me, we did our research. There is nothing to compare with Southwest Greens.
The neat thing about, knowing that I have a Southwest Greens is knowing that I've got the same kind of green that the best players in the world have. Whether it be a Hale Irwin or a Vijay Singh, people that are investing a lot of money and making sure they have the best product, I've got the same thing in my backyard.
Southwest Greens really helped design for the area that we had what would be the best to utilize the area that we were going to use for a synthetic green, and what would be best for the family and everything. The irony of ours was that it was the first green thing on our lot. We put it in during the building process, and the whole lot was just dirt, and it looked pretty. It was a construction site still, and then all of a sudden the Southwest Greens comes in and they put in their green, and it just looked fantastic. I mean, it was like, wow, can we get the whole yard this way? That'd be great. But The Southwest Greens did a great job. They went from the initial stages of how you were going to utilize the green, what was the best area for it, and where it would look the best on the property. And it's really turned out to be a win-win. It's something I can really use. It also looks really good in our backyard, and it's ended up being a great product.
You know, I looked at a lot of different products before I put this in, and Southwest Greens is by far the leader in this business. I'm a member at the country club over here down the street, and we've got by far the fastest greens that I've ever played on. So trying to create a surface here that I could practice on that was similar to what we have at the country club, I again wasn't quite sure, because you know, I wasn't sure you could get the synthetic turf to roll that smooth and fast and realistic. And I'll tell you what, Southwest Greens has created that speed about as close to what we have at on the real golf course at the country club, right here in my own backyard. I knew it was going to be maintenance free and certainly help on the water bill. But I'll tell you, what I didn't realize was how good it plays, how much fun it is. You know, the fun factor versus the maintenance factor. One is very low and one is very high. And it's been incredible. Southwest Greens has just done a fabulous job. I couldn't be happier with their product.
As far as the installation of my Southwest putting greens, I believe that there's no other company that can put the green in as professionally and efficiently as your crews from Southwest Putting Greens do. Before you came up with your new product that I think is the best yet, I had told people that one of the greatest things about Southwest Putting Greens were the fact that the older they got, the better they got. The sand would get a little more consistent and fill in. I thought they were just a little bit smoother the older they got. They're incredibly durable. The dogs can run around on them. You can you know, set up tables and have a cookout out on your putting green, and it won't be damaged. So I think that's one of the great things about the greens is actually the older they get, the better they get.
Well, I've had my Southwest putting green in about 3 years now, and I think that I get it serviced about probably twice a year, and that's all it needs. Look, we're home in Dallas here for about 12, 14 weeks of the year, and in that period of time I use my Southwest green a lot, and it seems to be when I go out there and practice on it, the quality of it is very consistent. It does not need a lot of maintenance. It holds up on its own very well. Now, when we do try and get it maintained, all it needs is a light brush and a bit of a blow off, and that's all it, to get the leaves off, but that's about all it needs. I mean, it stays very consistent and it stays, of the highest quality almost all year round.
Southwest Greens. From a teaching standpoint and from a playing standpoint, you want the best possible service that you can get. The research and development that they do, from the installation to the products they use, is second to none in the industry. If you want the best, you want Southwest Greens.
Yeah, that's the key to having a putting green in your backyard or any practice device. You want to work on your fundamentals. You want it to act as realistic as possible. So you can do your drills, you can lay your clubs down, you can lay your chalk line down, you can do whatever you want to do and that you normally do on a real putting green and do it on the synthetic green.
From my perspective, what separates Southwest Greens from other turf companies, first and foremost, is the support they get from the headquarters, from the SPGT office. I've seen a lot of turf companies, we deal with a lot of turf companies, and none of them have the extensive training program, the operations procedures, and the support from headquarters. I mean, it's something that separates Southwest Greens from all the other companies.
With the Southwest putting green, you do have those advantages of getting something more than just putting. Is chipping and pitching an integral part of the game? Absolutely. Do I practice out here? Absolutely. So when you're talking about putting greens, you're not just talking about pure putting, you're talking about the surrounds, and you can build a bunker and hit bunker shots and you get the same sort of reaction. You can pitch it and get the same sort of reaction. I think the sand gives you that basis to make those adjustments in your game if need be.
I spend a lot of time at the golf course. I can go to the golf course, and I do when I'm home, when I'm preparing for a tournament every day. So I hit balls next to a putting green, and I still prefer to come over here and putt at home a lot. But most people don't have that ability. They're coming home from work. They don't have an hour to run out to the golf course, but they can hop in their backyard and work on their putting and practice for 15 minutes or 30 minutes at a time. They can enjoy the time with their families. There's a lot of golf fanatics out there, a lot of people that enjoy having a golf club in their hand, and this gives them the ability to do it a lot more often.
You've got some great clients. They will have some very valuable feedback because we all, even though we're doing the same thing, we may have little idiosyncrasies in our games or in our approach, which you can take and put into your product. And I think that's very important when you're trying to build the ultimate product.
As a consumer and a homeowner, you can rest assured that Southwest Greens will make sure that you have the best product for you, from the corporate office all the way down to the franchisees. Whether you're in the Northeast, the Northwest, the South, or in a foreign country, the quality will be the same. They're there to make sure that you have the best possible product for you. Southwest Greens. It's not just about making a sale, it's creating a solution. Do you want it for your family, just to practice a little bit? Do you want it for your own game, to really do and find out just how good you can become? Do you want it to beautify your backyard or to create value in your home? All those can be accomplished with Southwest Greens.
This particular Southwest green that I have right now emulates like a bent grass green, and as you can see, it's got the almost like a Bermuda fringe on the exterior. So I can actually practice and play and feel like I'm actually going out to a real tournament when I practice on my own Southwest green. It's like when I'm practicing on it, it feels like there's a slight bit of subtle breaks to it, and it's really good. I really enjoy practicing on it.
No doubt. My last house, the second green you built me that I just sold, the putting green in the backyard was one of the main reasons they wanted the house. Their daughter was a scholarship player, I think. They loved the idea that that she could go out in the backyard and work on her game, and their whole family. So same situation applies with my kids. Eric's putting's gotten much better, and neighbors come over, or we'll cook out, and or swim in the pool, and we have some putters and balls here, and everybody just has a great time in the backyard.
It gives me a lot of confidence because I can work on my stroke right here at home. I can work on a green the similar speed that I play on the PGA Tour, and it's convenient to walk out my back door, come out here. If I only have 15 or 30 minutes, I can still get a little practice in at any time during the day, rather than getting in the car, traveling to the golf course, working on my game, traveling back. A lot of times you don't have time for that, but I can peek out, even with my family, for 15 minutes before dinner and hit a few putts and have some fun. It has a very nice and natural look, and I think it's an enhancement to anyone's backyard. Plus, you don't have to mow it.
Exactly.
If you thought that Southwest Greens was just a U.S. company, the reality is they're the biggest synthetic green company in the world. Any place you want to go, Europe, Asia, Thailand, Southwest Greens is there. So you have access to this technology and this quality of a product anywhere in the world. But the most important part, because of the quality that they keep within the organization, from the installers to the people who come and design your green, no matter where you're at in the world, you get the same quality that you get right here where the company is based in the States. So if you want a synthetic green and you want the best around the world, call Southwest Greens.
With the green I got now, the Southwest Greens, it's very consistent. I can come up here any time of the day or evening and just putt on it, and I know the speed of the greens, and it's rolling at the speed that I want it to roll at, which is pretty close to what we putt on tour. So very consistent, very convenient. Step out the back door and go and putt. Now I can tell people that I don't practice putting anymore, but practice all the time over here,
The Southwest Greens product
and their technology and their endorsement would be nothing unless you do the great job of constructing and installing a quality green. I came back to the fact that I believe in the product. I really enjoy the putting green that I have in the backyard, not just for me, for practicing my short game, for going out and playing PGA Tour events, but for having fun with my children. We've got friends around entertaining in their backyard, having a barbecue. You can get out there and enjoy the backyard and have some fun.
I said to him, look, I'd really love to get a Southwest putting green in my backyard in Australia because I have one in Dallas, and with all the water restrictions and the troubles with water we have back in Australia, it's just fitting for, you know, us to put another green down in our backyard. We're going to get a nice outdoor setting, like a barbecue area, and then we're going to add the Southwest putting green in with landscaping around, and I think it's going to look really special.
I think this is an amazing product for the UK, especially because just weather-wise, you know, our growing season is pretty short. We really only have, you know, from October through till March, nothing's really growing. It's very cold. The golf courses are all in terrible shape. So to have a surface that you can putt on all year round that's good and consistent, they need something like this in, you know, in their facility because, you know, our putting greens through the winter are terrible. You know, they get iced up and it's just horrible. So to have something pure all year round can only help.
From a versatility standpoint and an application, let's talk about par 3 golf courses, par 3 putting golf courses. Let's talk about amenities for resorts. It's phenomenal. For corporate America, there's so many things that Southwest Greens can be used for on top of backyard putting greens. And so if you're looking at this from a company, from a resort, or from a business that just wants to create interest in what you have, Southwest Greens is the way to go.
My Southwest Green allows me to work on my short game right here at home.
Because at the end of the day, you know, if you make it 1,000 times here, it surely has to be easier when your time comes to make the putt to win.
You know, and I think it's an added bonus that if somebody wanted to slip by here and get a tip, I might actually do some teaching in the backyard as well.
You know, when the best players in the world are putting Southwest Greens in their backyard to practice on, then you know it's a great product.
You've been given all the information. You've seen the quality that goes behind not only the construction, but the research and development and the service. The service is an attitude, not a department. When you look at Southwest Greens, you're looking at the tour. The tour players pick this product if it's in their backyards. That is a huge, huge endorsement because they will only have the best. So when you look at everything that's involved in buying or putting in a green, if you really want to bring golf home to you, the only way to go is Southwest Greens.